Why have 350 ships sunk on the shores of this unassuming island on the outskirts of Canada? Well, today we're going to be looking into Sable Island, why so many ships have wrecked here, and other interesting facts about this place. While it may not seem very prominent on many maps, it's actually a very long island, measuring about 34 kilometers across, or about 22 miles. Sable Island is a part of Nova Scotia, Canada, and has been a national park reserve for about the last 10 years. It's mostly just made of sand and a small amount of grass, and there are really no trees in the island. While there are no permanent inhabitants of this island, there is a permanently staffed facility, which is known as the Sable Island Station. Sable Island is not an easy place to get to. There's not a great place for a plane to land, and there isn't a helipad that services the island. It's also really hard to get large ships close to the island as the water that surrounds it is very shallow. As you can see in this photosphere, these guys have brought these little boats to get up on the shore. You also have to have special permission to come here from Parks Canada, as this is a wildlife reserve for many endangered species. Over 500 horses call this island home, meaning there are way more horses than there are people. So why are there so many shipwrecks on this small island? Well, the answer is geography. For the last 500 years, ships have been traveling from Europe and Africa over to North America, and while it may not seem like it, many of the shipping routes go directly next to Sable Island. This is the Mercator projection, a map that is commonly found in classrooms all across the United States. While it may look like a pretty straight line between Europe and North America, the straightest line is actually much more curved. For instance, from the tip of Delmarva to this tip of France, it looks like the straightest line would be to go here. Let's look at this on Google Earth. So if we start here at the tip of Delmarva and go to that same point in France, we can see that it goes super close to Sable Island. This would be the shortest route for any ship to ship from there to here. When we look at a map of maritime shipping routes, we can see that this also checks out. When we look at a route from Chesapeake Bay to London, we can see that it goes super close to where Sable Island would be. So that means for the last 500 years, there are many opportunities for ships to come ashore Sable Island and to wreck there. This area is also super prone to fog and treacherous weather conditions, meaning that many ships don't even know they're about to wreck until they hit the shores. In 1778, Lieutenant Anthony Kennedy and 25 men wrecked on this island when they were sailing to Prince Edward Island. They lasted on this island from November of that year till April of the next year, without many resources to go off of, considering most of this island is just sand and grass. However, 2 of the men did end up dying. The rest of the men were eventually rescued. Over the years, hundreds of more ships have come across this island, and probably more that we don't even know about. Nowadays, with modern technology, GPSs, and lighthouses, it's far less likely for a ship to wreck on this island. However, it could still happen. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.